And then AI comes along and we go, this is the most transformative automation technology that of all of human history, simply because it unlocks a new domain. All the automation before is what we would call discrete. It's programmatic. We're telling it exactly what to do. It's like rules. But now, all those areas where humans had to think about things, we can replicate thinking. We can replicate certain decision-making, certain amounts of thinking processes. And so what we can automate or change gets much bigger. And so we immediately jumped into that, started helping our clients with it, and it was no looking back from there.
Welcome to the Spotlight, baby. I am Peter Anthony. I'm your host. Today I am here with my friend Spencer Lowe. He is going to just unlock so many things. We have so much in common, he and I. But before we do anything, the first thing you need to do is like. Then you need to subscribe. Then you need to share. You need to leave a comment. You need to let us know what we're doing right and where there's room for improvement. We're super stoked, baby. Spencer, welcome, man. You and I just couldn't stop talking before this. We're just babbling on, and my crew is like, dude, we got to record some of this. It's awesome. Tell me about what you're doing with Solved. How does that look? It's a great Utah business. You're killing it in the AI space, but it's not about AI in the common understanding of it. Rock and roll. Give me the 30-second pitch, baby.
Yeah, Solved is a consulting company that started as a CRM automation company, but became an AI and full business automation company. And over the past few years, as AI has gotten more prevalent, we noticed amongst our clients that were really taking off with it and the ones that were just getting little incremental value, there's a big shift. That shift was in the executives, specifically whether or not the executives were using AI in their own workflow every day, because their ability to think in these new systems and understand an entirely new paradigm for where the world is going dramatically changes every other aspect of their business. And so while my company builds the systems and helps implement it in companies, I focus on helping the executives unlock the mindset necessary and get the personal tools so that they can actually lead from the front and not be chasing behind their teams or their competitors.
I love that. They need to lead from the front. You need to lead from the front, baby. So it's so true, right? And if the visionary doesn't embrace the vision, the company falls down and they move back to mediocrity. We have every Tuesday, we do events here at Bad Bet where we invite people in for free and we do a mindset marketing event. And we talked about last week the differentiation between being interested, committed, and obsessed, right? And visionaries that actually do something are generally obsessed. They're curious about everything. They implement things and they're quick to move forward. Committed people are always the ones that they're consistent, but they have a plan B in case plan A fails. And if you have a plan B, then you're going to have to implement it because you're not really all in on plan A, right? So it's like, oh, I'll marry her until someone better comes along. Like it's a terrible way to start a relationship, right? It's like, you got to be all in, baby. So what was your journey into automation? Because, as you know, we have a marketing company. We love automation. We understand how powerful it is. Tell us your journey in that understanding.
Yeah. So, I started out just as a Salesforce consultant. I was trying to help people set up CRMs, set up systems around their CRMs. But as I built my business, one of the key questions that I'm always asking is like, what is the customer value really? Like, what are we really giving them? Not just like they think they're buying expertise in Salesforce at the time. But, I'd look at my customers and we're offering them all expertise. Some were doing better than others. And so when I look at the ones that were really doing well, they were so excited in their reviews about us because they're saying, this is what we automated away. Like that was the thing that kept coming out. And this is before
away.
AI. Yeah, this is before AI. Yeah. This is just using code and other automation
simple taxonomies to manipulate workflows.
Yeah, everything pre-AI, right? Mm-hmm. So custom code, integrations, all sorts of things with data. And they'd go, yeah, like this takes us less time. This allows us to move much faster. We're beating competitors now. And so I'd say, okay, they're hiring us because we're great at automation. So we changed our business from being sort of CRM consultants to being automation consultants. And then AI comes along and we go, this is the most transformative automation technology of all of human history, simply because it unlocks a new domain. All the automation before is what we would call discrete. It's programmatic. We're telling it exactly what to do. It's like rules. But now, all those areas where humans had to think about things, we can replicate thinking. We can replicate certain decision-making, certain amounts of thinking processes. And so what we can automate or change gets much bigger. And so we immediately jumped into that, started helping our clients with it, and it was no looking back from there.
That's a great way to think of it, isn't it? It's like, you're implementing thinking that can take the reins of some of your automation, because it's the if, that, then this, which would be an interesting simplified taxonomy, but it's multiple. So that where it becomes AI is it can look at 100 things simultaneously, and it can extrapolate from your previous answers to find the direction and to integrate into your automations. I love that, man, and it's super cool. You've seen some big shifts with companies. Tell us about one of them.
Man, I mean, just recently we had a customer that's in the aviation industry that we were doing a project for, and they came back and wrote us this great review, and they said, we were spending 3 weeks with 3 people on our team to come up with a quote. It's now done in 90 seconds with 1 person. And they're like, besides the man hours, like obviously that's a great efficiency for your business, but what was so compelling to them is this is going to win us far more deals because our competitors don't turn quotes around this fast. We can get in front of the customer and have quotes at a speed that our competitors can't keep up with.
And that, I think that for us, the way we're positioning ourselves as well, and I think you are just based on that, is this, our customers want access to instant gratification and information, right? So it's not the gratification that they're looking for, it's the information, because instant access to information is what creates power, right? It's like, and it's instant access to friendships, right? So I call up a friend, they say, hey man, I'm doing this great podcast, I've got one opening, do you know anybody who'd be great? Oh my goodness, I know my friend Spencer would be awesome, right? And it's like, okay, cool, baby, give me the thing. And it's like, we're on and you're on. And that's so important because that speed is what creates value, because you can assess, is this a good relationship for me or a bad one? If it's good, I would like to take it in this direction. And all of a sudden you can change trajectory. And I know we're both students of Tony. I know we were both platinum partners for Tony Robbins, and we've both known him for decades. And, when we talk about sometimes, in the early days, he talk about the rocket ship and making all those mid-course corrections and constant mid-course corrections. Well, I think that's AI today. It is the ability to make all those mid-course corrections in real time, and they can be assessed in real time. But going back to the second part of what you're sharing, which I think is maybe even more important, is the understanding that if the visionary doesn't adopt it, use it, and stand behind it, the company won't. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I believe that executives, one of the defining features of an executive that is really successful is their ability to say no. So being able to say no is something that it's going to reward you as an executive. You have to be able to focus. You have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to not take on work from your employees, right? It's actually a problem if an employee keeps pushing work back up to you. And that serves a really valuable function, but it can become a bit of a blind spot in a situation like this where the natural tendency is to view AI as like a tool and then say, I'm going to delegate it to my technology person. I'm not going to go learn the technology. It's not my job as an executive. What that misses is that it's not only a tool. And in fact, the phases of AI adoption are first using it as a tool, second using it as digital labor, and third using it as a new paradigm. And
go through those one more time for
everybody. Yeah, we'll slow down that whole process. So first off, when I start interacting with technology, I'm using, or specifically AI, I'm using it as a tool. So let's use an example people will be familiar with, which is the internet. So let's say I'm a restaurant owner and the internet comes along. During the tool phase, I would look at that and go, okay, there's this digital place that we can represent our physical storefront. I need a web page. I need a digital storefront to represent me. That's a good use of the tool. Well, then we start thinking about it as something that can do work for us. So what I would call digital labor. And so the smart entrepreneur there with a restaurant might say, I'm going to now let this take reservations for me. Or I might want to custom code a way that it can even take a takeout order. But neither of those uses produce anywhere near, like if you look at the restaurant that did that the very best, it saw linear growth. It saw an increase in maybe foot traffic, an increase in revenues, but it did not see hundreds of billions of dollars of market cap created like a DoorDash or a, Uber Eats that said, given this new paradigm, we don't even need to own a restaurant. What we need is to connect people that are hungry with food delivered to them instantaneously. And so this new paradigm allows us to think in a totally different way about the customer need. And so AI is much the same way, where there's uses as a tool. It's like I'm chatting with it. It's making me smarter. It's a thought partner. It's helping me do some things. There's uses as digital labor, where I use agents like Cloud Cowork, Cloud Code, Codex. I give it things and it actually does work for me and produces full deliverables. But the real question is, do you have an understanding and a vision for your business of what your business will look like if it's AI native? That's where all of the massive upside is. And if I don't learn to think AI by using it as a tool in digital labor, then I can't have a real vision for what an AI native version of my business looks like. And so I can't lead. If my employees are using it more than me, I don't have the information to even know what's possible. And so it really handicaps your business to make the real kind of jumps you're going to need to make to thrive in the AI era.
I love that, baby. It's one of the bottlenecks in business right now, right? It's because there's so much AI being thrown at people. The word alone is like being misused, right? The way it's being integrated, your failure to comply. We build AIO. We focus on reputation and brand. Digital, so we focus a tremendous amount on AIO, which is AI optimization, versus SEO, right? Which is kind of like waning out, right? Because and then live experiences like this, right? It's like, oh, how do I get to know you, the human being? But if you extrapolate all of this, turn it into a codify it and then upload it into your Claude natively. You can say, hey man, this is how I'd like to answer these questions. I just did a podcast, blow it out, and it kills it. And the more, so we also build all of those soft skills into ours. But I love how you took it one step further with larger businesses, because, not unlike, and I know the stories of Kodak and Smith Corona and, all of these companies, Blockbuster, right? They came in and this new emerging technology, the horse and buggy, didn't believe that cars would ever take over because everybody loves their horse, right? They named their horse. Their horse was going to live for 20 years. They didn't have to, they just had to feed it some hay. Why do you want to buy gasoline when there's hay and water free in your backyard? And you think like, we're Kodak. We invented digital technology. I mean, could you imagine your Kodak? You invented how to digitize a picture. And now you're obsolete. And you were the biggest thing in the world. So I love that you looked at it from that standpoint and say, hey man, we're going to grab the CEOs that aren't embracing the product. And why aren't they embracing the product? Well, we both know that it's based on their human needs, right? And so they don't use something that they're not certain about, that they are not getting significance in, and they're not connected to. So you probably have found a way to amp those up so that you're like, we're going to make you certain, we're going to make you connected, and you're going to get way more significance, baby. And they become addicted. I love it, baby. It's so cool, Spencer. That's really, really smart. And how old is your company now?
About 7 years.
7 years. From zero to hero. What were we? I mean, that's crazy, right?
Appreciate it.
And you're doing some really cool stuff. If there was one thing that somebody didn't know about your company till after they started using it, but you wish they knew before, because it would make the answer yes happen faster and be more secure, what would it be?
I think that I would impress upon them the nature, the existential threat that ignoring AI is to their business. Like,
And they won't actually know that until they get deep down the rabbit hole with you.
What happens usually is, so this is why I actually do in-person only trainings right now with executives, is to get them in the room, to have them confront it, and then to have them get hands-on for 4 of the hours that we spend. We spend 8 hours, together. 4 of the hours are them doing, we show a demo, we show what's possible for their workflow, we make them do it, hands-on. Don't bring anybody with you, don't bring a technology, you have to do it. And when people leave, the things they are saying are things like, that just changed my life. Which I didn't set out to change their life. I set out to help them understand something about business.
Right.
But
that changes their life because their life is predicated on how well they can execute their business, because it supports their family, their community, their employees, their vendors, and their whole internal identity, all through this little thing called their business. I love it, baby.
I had a friend of mine, Alex, who came to our training a few weeks ago, and he's from Toronto. He's, in his 70s, a very successful guy. And one of the things I do in our trainings, I ask everybody, why'd you come? Like, what do you really want to get out of it? Because I know what I'm going to give them, but I want to see where they're starting from. And he said, look, my team's running around with this. These younger kids are running around with it, and I just feel lost, and I don't know how to lead. And by the time he left, he said, I'm going to be ahead of all of them. I'm going to go back ahead of all of them, and I'm going to set a clear direction. We're going to be so much more effective now. That shift, he understood by the time he left that he could not delegate this, that he could not put it aside or just throw budget at it. It had to be, in order to lead, something he understood, because he looked at it and he went, half our business doesn't even make sense. Like,
it's so eye-opening.
Half our business doesn't make sense in this new paradigm. And once you know that, totally changes the direction.
Yeah. And it allows you to scale in a new way, and to adjust in a way that will be profitable. And it's going to save jobs. AI you're not going to lose jobs. You're going to create more jobs, more productivity, as long as you embrace it and use it, and you become the master of it, and instead of allowing it to be the master of you. Brother Spencer, it has been an honor, man. I want to get you back on, though.
I'm happy to come back.
Would you mind coming back?
Anytime.
Maybe? You are just a plethora of cool.
That's very kind of you.
What kind of watch you wearing? Let's do a watch check.
Oh, it's nothing special. Just a little Longines. It's one of my favorites, though. It's green.
It's a HydroQuest?
Yep, HydroQuest GMT.
Yep, very, very cool.
The green dial goes with, all my green clothes. So I only wear like 3 or 4 colors. This one fits them perfect.
So we're watch collectors. We have hundreds and hundreds of them. We love really cool watches. That thing has been shiny and blinging me since you got here.
I love it.
So Spencer, where can people find you?
So our business is solved, SOLVD.CLOUD. That's our website. You can find us there. You can find me on LinkedIn and on X under the handle @What'sLeftForUs, which is also my YouTube channel, where I talk about what's going to remain human in an AI-dominated world. So you find me there.
That one.
You find me there. You find me on solve.cloud, and we'll give you a link to put in the show notes for our next in-person training. Get on the waiting list, because when we first announce it, there's some early bird discounts, and you don't want to miss those.
Love it, man. Well, you guys have to find Spencer. We love you. We'll see you real soon. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. Like, subscribe, share, and support local Utah businesses, man. Well, what are you waiting for? Do it now. Get to it.